5 lifestyle habits you need to become more productive by laziness. Do you need more motivation, energy and better time management? A massive hello to you. My name is Cara and I'd like you and I to go on a wellness journey together. I have a lot of knowledge on the subject, but I don't always practice what I preach. So on this channel, we're going to encourage each other, learn and live well together. Today I'm going to help you become more productive in 5 simple steps. Number 5 is for sure the one that transforms my life, productivity and mood when implemented, so be sure to stick around for that one. Habit number 1, rise and shine. We're going to seize the day and come to love early mornings, but we're not diving in at the deep end too soon. We don't want to go too hard, too fast and give up after a week. Been there, done that. We're going to train our brain and body to build a new habit that sticks and doesn't feel too drastic. We need to set a realistic end goal waking time. I would love to join the 5 a.m. club, but I honestly don't think I would stick to it for long. Never say never, but for now I feel like 5:45 is more realistic for me. We're going to aim for an hour extra to ourselves in the morning, so adapt this to your routine and find your new waking time. Here's how we're going to get there. Week 1. Take the time that you're currently waking up at the moment and shave off 15 minutes. So currently I wake up around 7 a.m. most days, so my new waking time for the next 7 days is going to be 6:45. Obviously 15 minutes earlier isn't going to change our lives, so week 1 is simply to get the ball rolling. Take our morning routine a little slower and ease into our new lifestyle. Splash our face with cold water and we can get a little extra movement into week 1. We're going to do 5 minutes of stretches. Simple, gentle stretches, holding each stretch for 30 seconds. You can do any stretches, adapt this to your ability. Let's just get some movement done first thing. Week 2. Another 15 minutes comes off our waking time, so now in total we have 30 minutes extra per morning. We will carry on with our 5-minute stretches each morning. That's a habit that we're going to keep going forward. Now with our new free time, we're going to create a to-do list for the rest of the day. I find I can easily pack too much onto a to-do list and feel guilty at the end of the day, but I still want to get everything that I want to accomplish out on paper. I will star the most important tasks, and I know that any unfinished, less important ones can be rolled over to the next day. Getting it all out on paper helps you free up some brain space and lets you prioritise and feel control of your day. Get yourself some nice new notebooks, pens and highlighters. Who doesn't love new stationery? I like to see my tasks ticked off. It's very motivating and it gives you a cheeky dopamine hit. Week 3. Pulling back our alarm another 15 minutes will give us 45 minutes of morning power time. This is the week I've been looking forward to as I'm a big walker. So this week I'm going to get up, splash my face, do my stretches and get myself straight out the house for a 30-minute walk with the dog. Now I appreciate not everybody will want to do this, especially in the winter time when it's a little bit darker. If you don't have a dog or you don't feel safe enough, maybe ask a friend or family member to join in with this. And if you'd rather stay home, you can go sit in your garden or by a window. Just take in some fresh air, watch the sky, listen to the birds, just appreciate the quieter time. If the sun is out, bonus. Those few moments of sunshine are really going to lift your mood. And morning sunshine before the UV rays get too strong are a really good source of vitamin D. Maybe you can extend your stretching time and do it outside instead. Maybe you'd like to do a 20-minute YouTube workout. Maybe you're lucky enough to have an exercise machine at home that you can hop onto for 20 minutes. Or get listening to a positive mindset book or podcast. You could spend this time journaling or reading with a healthy drink or work on a project to get ahead. Just ask yourself, what would you do if you had more time? And this is what you should fill this time doing. For me, our dog has a lot of energy and I like getting some light exercise first thing while it's peaceful, so it's 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm lucky enough to have an open space near me that's well lit and is popular with the locals, so even though it's quite early, there are 1 or 2 people about still, so I'm not completely alone. If I was to leave it till 9-10 o'clock, it's when our open space is most popular and the dog wouldn't get any off-lead time. And I just love watching all the animals and stuff wake up in the morning. It is so relaxing down there. Week 4, our last 15-minute push. We're now getting up a whole hour earlier and it hasn't felt too drastic. Well done us. You have a full hour to fill however you please. You've more than likely built up a few new habits over the past 3 weeks, and you probably already have in mind the ways in which you'd like to spend this last 15 minutes. Maybe you'd like to prep a healthy lunch for the day, or flick through a recipe book for some upcoming meals. Maybe just spend a few extra minutes putting yourself together for the day. Try a new hairstyle or a new makeup look. Put some extra thought into an outfit. Anything you'd like. I'll be spending mine on the laptop, working on content like this. And next week, when I roll my alarm even further back to 5:45, I will have an extra half an hour each morning to work on my YouTube channel. If you also feel like you'd like more time in the morning, you can carry on using this technique until you're happy with your new wake-up time, because a happy routine is one that you're likely to keep up. However, I'd like you to be aware of how much sleep you gain. Naturally, waking up earlier will have you hitting the sack earlier also, but make sure you're not scrimping on sleep, because that's going to be counterproductive and unattainable. Aim for at least 7 hours a night. So here's what my new established morning routine looks like. 5:45, wake up and freshen up. 5:50, 10 minutes of stretching. 6 a.m, 30-minute dog walk with water. 6:30, 30 minutes of content creation. 7 a.m, wake the house up and get ready for the day. What's your new morning routine looking like? Let me know in the comments below. Habit number 2, electronic jail. We're now going to work on our technology addictions, and we're all guilty of it nowadays. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for tech and how advanced it is and the positives it can bring into our lives, but we have got to stop the doom scrolling and the binging past bedtime. All this does is give us a temporary high, followed by feelings of disappointment and guilt. We can still get those chemical highs from watching those cute kitten videos or your favourite YouTuber's latest vlog, but we're going to start to control the time given to such activities. Scrolling our feeds late into the night is doing nothing more than hyping up our brains. The light emitted from our phones actually stops our brain from sending out sleep signals, even when you dim the brightness. You'll be amazed how drowsy you're going to feel without it. So we're going to set up a strict curfew. Personally, I think 9 p.m. is a great time to put your phone in jail, regardless of what time you go to sleep. But make sure you're giving yourself at least 2 hours of phone-free time each evening before bed. Give yourself a few moments to tie anything up, let people know of your new healthy phone cap so they don't become concerned with your new MIA status and send out the police to perform a welfare check. Then pick up your beloved device, set your alarm and pop it on the other side of the room, or even better, in a completely other room. Resist all urge to army crawl back to it. Keep your mitts off that laptop and stop questioning if that old Samsung tablet you've got buried in your bedside table from 2013 will still work. It won't. So what do we do now? Do we sit twiddling our thumbs till we fall asleep? Maybe cry ourselves to sleep at our new tech-free nights, which resemble life back in 2004? No. Chin up, my friends. It's time to brew a caffeine-free drink. Chamomile is a winner. Grab the diaries, the journals, the notebooks, and write. Write for 30 minutes. Are there any goals you haven't written down yet that you've got floating around in your brain? Could you uplift your mood by writing today's gratitude list? Do you have any shadow work that you feel called to do? You could write affirmations, manifestations, scripting, anything. A general brain dump. Just make sure you write. You'll be surprised how quickly the flow comes to you and how much you'll feel like you could have wrote so much more after that 30 minutes is done. Save that for tomorrow night. Now what, you ask? There's nothing quite like the hypnotising back and forth rhythm of reading to put you to sleep. Reach for that book you've been wanting to read forever, wipe off the dust and the coffee stains and start. But for the love of the universe, pick a nice book. Something wholesome and pure. We don't need to know how Jack the Ripper went about his business. You'll find as you stimulate your brain more by reading before bed that you're going to dream more, and no one needs to be hurled back to the 1800s running through the streets from old Jack. We all know you can't run in dreams. So, boring wholesome book in hand, you're ready to wind down. I would advise reading actual paper books, but if you do have a Kindle and prefer to use that, you can buy blue light filters for them from Amazon, which will also double up as a screen protector. Win-win. If books really aren't your thing, you can watch some TV, but same concept again. There's 1,000,001 murder mysteries on Netflix, and whilst I don't actually think we should be watching them at all, bedtime is definitely not the time for such media. So something feel good and gentle. Think Jane the Virgin or Schitt's Creek. Nothing violent and nothing too suspenseful. So now you have your bedtime wind down activity of choice. We need to set a time to shut it all down and get that beauty sleep. We're going to aim for at least 7 hours each night. So your bedtime is going to depend on your waking time. After following through with habit 1, my new rising time is 5:45, which means that my bedtime needs to be no later than 10:45. And I don't want to expect to pop my book down and fall to sleep instantaneously. That's not my brain at all. If you're also someone that needs a few moments of counting sheep to drift off, And then I recommend that you also put the book/remote down a good 15 minutes before the time that you want to be asleep. So now my free time officially ends at 10:30 and I aim to be asleep for 10:45. Of course, we live in the real world on this channel. Getting a full night's sleep is something that I always struggle with. Smartwatches and Fitbits can help us track sleep, and it's always interesting to know how long you've been in the different sleep stages throughout the night. Also on this channel, we do not deprive ourselves of a good night in the name of sleep quality/quantity. Long awaited night out with friends? Off you go to the ball, Cinderella. Grab that glass of water before you go to bed on your return home, and take off any makeup, please. I'd like to live by the 80-20 rule. 80% discipline and routine, 20% freedom and spontaneity. Time to rise and shine, my friends. Guzzle some water, do your stretches. But I hope I didn't catch you reaching for that phone so soon. Oh no. After switching off your alarm, I'm afraid your phone is still serving some jail time. There's nothing worse than losing half the morning to the scroll. Nothing's going to set you up for a bad day more than this. We're aiming to shun our phone for an extra few minutes to start our day in a positive mindset. Get a task ticked off your to-do list before you even think about picking up your phone. Get that ball well and truly rolling first. If I'm waking up at 5:45, I don't even want to sniff at social media until an hour after my morning routine is completely ended. For me, that would be around 8 o'clock. Pinterest, I'm coming for you. Habit number 3, building sleepy brain habits. This habit follows on and expands from habit 2. We're going to teach our brains how to notice the signs that we're ready for sleep and aid us in the winding down process. Sorry, coffee lovers, you're not going to like this one. Caffeine has its place in our routines. It boosts metabolism, aids brain function, amongst other benefits. But these days we can consume far too much. Caffeine has been linked to heightened anxiety and heartbeat irregularity. It's recommended that you do not exceed 400 milligrams of caffeine per day, which equates to around 2 to 4 cups depending on cup size. Personally, I don't have any more than 2 cups a day. I start to feel antsy if I go over that. So if you're a cup an hour type of person, it needs to stop. Sorry, you will thank me for it later. What time should you have your cup of joe? Whatever time you please, from morning to early afternoon, but I don't recommend consuming caffeine past 1 p.m. Let me present the studies before you throw the rotten apples at me. It's said that after 6 hours, half the caffeine levels are still present in the bloodstream, and it takes roughly a further 4 hours until it's completely gone. That's a whole 10 hours after your last cup of coffee before the buzz buzzes off, and we wonder why we can't sleep. The average good old cup of English tea also contains caffeine, but it's roughly half the milligrams, and green tea even less. So if you're going through it with the withdrawal headaches, try a green tea instead. Caffeine-free, snoozy hot bevy options for the evening are chamomile, peppermint, lavender, and all the fruity flavours that you could imagine. Have a wander down the herbal tea aisle. You'll be overwhelmed, not to mention the many health benefits of some of these teas. So let's build some bedtime habits. You've already established your new bedtime from habit 2. We need to build signals in our brains that help us wind down and help our bodies recognise the signs for approaching sleep. My wind down time will start at 8 p.m. By this time, I've eaten and I should have done all my tasks for the day. Once you've picked your time, grab a herbal out of your new tea stash. A personal favourite for night time is the Clipper Sleep Time, which has chamomile, lemon balm and lavender. Now, the question is, do you like a morning shower or an evening shower, or both? If you're exclusively just a morning shower person, I would highly suggest you also take advantage of the relaxation element that a warm evening shower can bring, as well as adding an influential step to getting our sleepy brain on. You can pamper with some truly relaxing, sleep-focused products. Worthy brand mentions for me are Dr. Organic and Faith in Nature, who both do a lavender soap bar, so you can also cut out some plastic use. If you have a bath, you can take advantage of bath salts, which contain magnesium, and magnesium is great to kickstart sleep. What we're aiming for here is for our nose to send signals to our brain that say it's time for relaxation and sleep. We're using scent memory, which is a very powerful trigger. Now, each night that you use your lavender soaps, salts, oils, your brain is apprehending and preparing for sleep. By the time I've filled my body with lavender both inside and out, done my skincare, brushed my teeth, got into my PJs, an hour would have easily passed. And now it's 9 p.m. for me. I'm in full sleepy zombie mode, ready to loop back to habit 2 and put my phone away. I'll get out my journals and notebooks and have the bookmarks at the ready. That is, if I can stay awake. Congratulations, if you followed this example, you now have a solid bedtime routine combining habits 2 and 3. And you're well on your way to building sleepy brain habits. Habit number 4, list, list, list. It's great to say when you've got a slight lisp. You're about to become so organised that you're about to make lists of the lists that you're making. Not even kidding, I have one. From a young age, I was a list maker. It extended further than telling Santa what I wanted for Christmas. Came out to play fully when we were going on holiday. I held inventory for every single hair clip that I was taking with me. It was so intense that I was told at a young age by a relative that I should pursue a career as a personal assistant. Clearly, I didn't take that on board. Nothing is worse than a scatterbrain. Life becomes so much easier when it's all out on paper in front of you. And yes, that means that I am an old school pen and paper kind of gal. I rarely use my phone for lists and such. I like to have it all laid out in one, and there's nothing better than new stationery. New pens that write well, pastel highlighters, a fresh notepad. My phone simply cannot compete. On my phone, I do have lists of things that pop into my head when I'm out and about. Meal ideas, YouTube video ideas that I'll suddenly think of, but I will always expand those ideas onto paper at a later date. Here's an example of some of the lists/notes that I have on the go right now. And each one follows on from the last, so I can break down tasks and goals and allocate them. I have yearly goals, seasonal goals, monthly to-do, weekly plan, daily to-do, meal plans and shopping lists, cleaning schedule, self-care schedule, purchases I need to make both under £50 and over £50, finances and exploring multiple sources of incomes, MSIs, daily affirmations, a gratitude journal, a vision book, which is kind of like a vision board but in book style, a bucket list, as well as notepads for content prep for YouTube. I have a book for most things that I want to get on top of. Nothing is too silly or too little to write down. You'll feel like you're in control and know exactly where you're going and exactly how to get there. As for highlighting off tasks, that gives a massive dopamine hit with satisfaction guaranteed, as well as giving the motivation to carry on. So have a think, make your first list of lists that you want to create. Really think about what would make your life easier if you had it out of the filing cabinet of the mind and onto paper. You can then plan around it and fully execute it. Go and give yourself all the nostalgia of the 6-week holidays back when you were at school. Go and have a wander down the stationery aisle and buy yourself some new stationery. Happy list making, I promise you it will change your life. Habit number 5, bite-sized chores. This last habit is the deal or no deal for me. It's the backbone of my mental health and my overall motivation, the state of my surroundings. Having a messy home is a surefire way to kick me down the spiral to lazy town. It's a catch-22. I know I need to clean up my act, but looking around at the chaos becomes daunting and I freeze. I make up excuses and I just become lackluster, glued to the sofa, letting the hours pass by and then feeling even more sorry and angry with myself because I'm wasting time. And that cycle can repeat daily. Only way I've found to combat this is to break down the household cleaning into daily tasks and rooms. I spent a few minutes and I broke down my house into different rooms, which is not hard because we live in a shoebox over here. I also broke down my laundry over different days too. I've mostly given myself the weekends off, just allocating little tasks on a Sunday, like changing the bed and watering the plants. So to give you a quick lowdown, on Mondays I clean my kitchen and the halls. I also set a rough time as well, so I give myself 50 minutes every Monday to thoroughly do the kitchen. In my notes app I also wrote down and broke down the tasks in each room that I need to do, so I can just have a quick glance at my phone and then crack on. No more standing in the middle of the room looking lost. I also wash my sofa cushions and throws every other Monday. On Tuesdays I head into the living room and I spend 40 minutes in there. along with the pet bedding and the cleaning cloths, getting a good scrub every other Tuesday. On Wednesdays, I tackle the bathroom for 15 minutes and I wash the bedding and the towels. Thursdays bring me into the 2 bedrooms of this house for 50 minutes, and our clothing takes a turn in the machine. And lastly, I have run out of rooms for this house for Friday, but I do wash Callum's gears every Friday if he needs them. That's the dressing gown looking thing that people wear for jiu-jitsu and judo, if you didn't know. And a single gi takes up the whole washer. They are not light items of clothing. I have a note in my phone app for sprucing up the garden every other Saturday, but I will be honest, that does get neglected. My garden is a sorry sight of toxic dog pee patches and toys from when my son was 4. Very unmotivating, but it is on my goal list for this season, and I do need to start with a skip run or 5. I keep post-it notes on my kitchen board with the days that I need to change the cat litter, alongside one for also defleeing the pets. I also jot down the last time that I washed the items that I mentioned previously that get washed every other week. So if you're like me and the space around you really alters your mood or motivation, then I highly suggest that you grab a pen and paper or open your phone app and break down the tasks that you need to accomplish through the week to keep your house, or whatever space you have to call your own, functioning and running at its best so that you can keep in good spirits. Bottom line is that clutter and mess actually raises your anxiety levels. It can affect sleep and your ability to focus properly. Clean space, clean mind. Stock up on some new cleaning products or any accessories that you might like to make the jobs easier. Buy a nice new cleaning caddy to hold all your seasonally scented sprays and wipes. Invest in a good quality duster that makes the job more effortless. And there's a Hoover or mop attachment for every cranny of your house that you could possibly think of on Amazon waiting. Go have a browse and get motivated to clean up your act. Little daily habits that can also help keep this overall weekly cleaning schedule running are things like making sure that you put away items when you've done with them, wash the pots after every time you have dinner, do not keep leaving them to the next day, I know you do that too. Have a quick sweep daily so that hoovering time lessens. Perform on the spot cleaning tasks. If you notice something that needs doing and you think it will take less than 5 minutes, just do it there and then. If you have a dog, keep on top of that dog poo. There is nothing worse than going out there and cleaning up an absolute mountain of dog poo. If you come across items of clothing that you no longer like or that don't fit you anymore, donate or sell them straight away. Most towns have those charity bins located in like supermarkets or car parks. You probably find that you go past them daily and don't even notice, so have a look for them in your local town. And that concludes my 5 lifestyle habits that you need to become more productive. Let me know in the comments below if you have any life-changing habits that you'd like to share. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to come along on this wellness journey with me. Here's to health and happiness. Bye.